All right, welcome back everybody. This week's gonna be a long overdue exploration into the Black Crowes. I haven't mined that yet for videos on the channel, but this starts today. So this is gonna be Twice as Hard by the Black Crowes. It came out on their debut album in 1990. Man, I was so happy when that came out. Like, there's a few moments there in the 80s where it was sort of like, man, I'm so sick of the synth stuff. I need something different. Guns N' Roses came out, awesome. And then a couple years later, Black Crowes hits, and it was just awesome. It was like they were the perfect combination of like Stones, early 70s Faces with Rod Stewart, a little bit of Led Zeppelin, just great sort of 70s vibe. But you know all that because you tuned into this video, okay? So today I'm gonna take you through the two main sort of guitars that are happening on this record. There's the rhythm guitar, which is in open G. Then there's a lead guitar, which I believe was played in standard, but could be played in either. And I'm gonna play that in standard, and that's what we're gonna go through in our lesson today. So if this is the kind of thing that you like and you haven't done so yet, please jump down and click subscribe. Ring the bell. The bell will let you know when I drop new content, which I do every single week. All my videos have chapters in them, so you can jump right to the part of the lesson that you want to see and bypass what you don't. And if you're looking for other ways to support the channel, I appreciate that. There's thanks, which is just like throwing a tip in the tip jar. Or even better, you can join my Patreon page where I've got chord charts and tabs for all the lessons that I do on YouTube, just like this one. Links in the description, so check it out. All right, so Twice as Hard. So I'm going to start with the rhythm guitar, Rich Robinson. He's playing this in open G, no idea what guitar he used. You know, you always see him with his Keith Richards Telly, you know, with the humbucker and the neck and all that. And anyway, I'm going to go with my 335 because this humbucker sounds so damn good on these songs. I'll have all the descriptions of my signal chain here, but basically I'm running guitar into a little boost, and I'm into my Fender Bassman on like 8 or 9, and I've got that attenuated down. I don't have any other sort of push or anything like that. And it's just such a great sound. Oh my gosh. Okay, so open G tuning. I think everybody knows open G is just tuning 3 strings different. Your low and a high E, you tune down to a D, and your A, you tune to a G. So this becomes an open G chord. It's sort of like what Keith Richards does, but he even cuts off the 6th string and just plays the 5. But there you go. So if you need a moment to tune, go ahead. There you go. All right, so open G. So the song opens with this great little riff to open it. So I'm just going to hit the sort of 5th and 4th string, maybe the 3rd, right? And I'm going to slide up from 2 to 4, and back down and pull off, right? And then I'm going to hit this C chord, which is just straight across on the 5th fret. You sort of want to start it on the 5th string. You sort of don't want to hit that 6th string here, right? And then pull down. One more. And then we're going to hit this F chord just like Keith Richards style. Lay these 2 fingers on. Back to your C. Okay, so that's the intro. And then it kicks you into the sort of verse formation. Right? 3-2-0, 3-2-0, 3-2-0. Now, live, and I think on the record, he's got a slide on his pinky on this next part that he uses, and I'm not going to do it on this guitar. I don't think you really actually need the actual slide. It's just one more thing I don't want to deal with. But if you want to do that to sound more true to the record, slide a slide on your pinky on this next part. So this next part is sort of a call and response a little bit between the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar, as best as I can approximate. So One of them is doing, one of them you can hear this, right? It's a little more, it's a different tone. That's why I think that's the lead guitar, which we're going to cover in a little while. So I'm going to stick with the rhythm guitar, right? And what I believe the rhythm guitar is doing here is, right? You're just, I'm going to pull the volume down a little bit for clarity. So I'm just hitting that open G chord, and then with your slide or your finger, you're sliding up on the strings 1 through 3 up to the 5th fret, right? To keep that part of the G chord. Because if you think about it, it's sort of just bouncing between a G, like that, or, right? So he's just leaving, but he's leaving those low G's open to ring, and he's just hitting those strings 1 through 3, which is great. Right? That's the intro. And in between that, the lead guitar is doing that other thing that I was telling you about. You know, in between those, you know, as guitar 1 does that part, he's just doing. Right? And if you were to sort of build them together, it would be something like sort of do it on one guitar, but when you listen to it on the record, it sounds like it's 2 different tones, and both of them playing off each other on there. So then we get into the verse. So back to your rhythm guitar, it's now sort of going off of that theme. He's not doing that. He's not doing that slide up on the first 3 strings now. He's just more strong on the G to C. And if you want to do this, it's a little more subtle, but it still works. It's a little bit of a different vibe, but and then C to F. Just play with that formation, right? So fun, so fun. You know, and do little hits up here. However you want to do it, right? Then it gets to the bridge, I guess, section, or the tail end of that verse section. It holds on the C. No one ever wanna know. Back to the sort of intro into the verse again. That's the whole verse formation, and it just repeats through the song, verse, chorus, through chorus, I guess. All right, so during the guitar solo, he needs to create a little bit of space for the lead that's going to go on. The lead's going to be all in G. And so what happens on the rhythm guitar during that part is he's just doing this great jam in G. And he sort of embellishes it with your 6th string now. Like that. He doesn't pick everyone, it's a pull-off. It's not the same every time, and so that's just another jam that you can be creative with, but or you know, know, up or down, or that, you know, just play around with that, and don't do it every time. You know, you're just doing that the whole time. And he comes out of it again. And then we're back into the sort of chorus formation, I think, that takes us out, right? All right, so let's talk about the lead guitar now. Now, the lead guitar on the record could have been played by Rich Robinson, maybe on an overdub, but I think it was played by their other guitar player, whose name escapes me and will appear on screen now. And it sounds to me like it could be in open tuning or standard tuning, and I'm going to go easy and just do it in standard tuning here. But it's a great exercise in just straight up great rock solo, right? It's all in one key, it's all in G. He's got sort of phrases that move through it that you can chunk it up, and very melodic and just super fun. But you know that, again, right? Okay, so let's talk about this. I switched to this guitar just to have something different to play this on standard. All right, so here's how the solo comes in. Like we mentioned, Rich Robinson, he's just jamming in G. He's just doing that little G thing. So everything is going to be in G, and he's going to start down here. I'm going to play this, well, I'll just play this first little phrase, and then we'll come back to it. Love that. Oh, so fun, right? I'll just slow it down a little bit. Love it. Okay, then he follows it with this climb that he does based on G. I'll play it one time through. All right, so it's right, just a major scale climb. And then I think he switches to an open G string now. It just sounds a little different because sounds like it's the more, you know, unwound strings here. So it's sort of the same on the front half to the back half. All right, just great little climb. So this next part I've seen him play here live. And he sort of does it twice. But I like playing that lick up here, right in G major pentatonic, because we're going to end up here anyway, right? So I go like this. You're just sort of doing it twice. Love that. And then you're going to end it with just those little Keith Richards-y open G-E like things. We're not in open G tuning, but the same three strings, 2, 3, and 4, are the same tuned to standard if it was in open G. So we're just going to play with that. Right? That little part there. So it's... So let's try that all the way through. myself out of tune. But that is how you play it. The only thing that's different now in terms of rhythm guitar is on the actual outro, it just goes back to that part, but it just keeps going around. And live, I've seen them live 2 times in my life. They're awesome. And live, they sort of drag that part out and go even longer. But on the record, you know, it sort of goes out like this. You know, it just does that. But live, they just keep going. Something like that. So fun. All right, well, that was Twice as Hard by the Black Crowes, and I hope you learned something new today. If this is the kind of thing that you like and you haven't done so yet, jump down and click subscribe. It helps me out. Give me a like. Ring the bell. The bell lets you know when I drop new content, and I do that every single week. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this, and if there's another song you want me to take on and do a lesson on, let me know what that is too. And until next week, take care, everybody.